Hi there, I'm Mike. What I have for you today is some Star Wars, the Black Series, and the Vintage Collection news. I don't really do Vintage Collection stuff. I don't collect the Vintage Collection. Just I don't have the time, don't have the space, don't have the money. I had to pick something and go with it, and I prefer the 6-inch scale. So that's my thing. But just because of recent events with Hasbro choosing not to really focus on that and people campaigning towards it, I want to help you guys out by just talking about what was announced today. So today, Hasbro announced some things. I guess they had a whole Fan First Monday, which is weird because usually that's on Friday, but it's on Monday. So if you're watching this not on Monday, this was recorded and uploaded on Monday. Before I get into what was actually talked about today, I just want to go on record saying if you were watching that video, yeah, the videos are cheesy. They have to be. Nothing like that isn't cheesy, but wow. I think that Star Wars fans that collect toys to a level like this are some of the most complaining and entitled people I have ever seen. It was embarrassing to be in there and see all the people demanding things and just like, calm down, guys. These are toys. Chill out. I know I'm complaining about complaining. There's always an irony when it comes down to pointing out that someone's complaining too much because you are in fact complaining. It's like shushing somebody in a movie. Yes, you are making more noise than the person who is currently making the noise, but hopefully your noise stops that noise. That's just kind of how it works. Yes, it's ironic, but it's a fact of life. Also, before I get into the actual announcements today, I want to talk about some rumors. Yakface has just been killing it. Well, killing me lately with these rumors, and I talked about them on my last live stream, which happened last Saturday. I usually do a live stream the first Saturday of every month, but you know, this whole year's been nuts. If you want to see my live streams, go ahead and subscribe and hit the bell, and you'll see when I do live streams. It's a lot of fun. There are some rumors that have been circulating recently. I do want to just briefly talk about them. Number one, a couple of things popped up. And again, I get all this stuff from Yakface. So if you want to get, more recent rumors, just follow them, not me. But I want to give you my spin on it at the very least. 4 figures were found, I believe, in Walmart systems. I'm not entirely sure where it was. It doesn't really matter, to be honest. But one was Season 7 Ahsoka in the Black Series line. Again, this is Black Series, so it's 6-inch. Also an Ahsoka Loyalist figure, or trooper, I guess. So I'm assuming it's that, the 302nd or whatever with the Ahsoka face. There was one called the Mandalore Trooper, which no one knows if it's Gar Saxon or just a random Mandalorian trooper with the colorings of Maul's followers. And then last one was Nidal. A lot of people were saying maybe it's Bo-Katan. It's not Bo-Katan. That was confirmed that it wasn't. It could be a lot of things, but the thing about leaks is nobody really knows until Hasbro says, hey, here's the stuff. No matter how credible the rumor is, it's a rumor until confirmed. That's just how this works. There's some other things that have been leaked. Maybe Darth Nihilus is coming to the Gaming Greats line. Also, I think just today I saw that Galaxy's Edge is partnering with Target. Since the Galaxy's Edge has been closed, they're partnering with Target to bring some of the Galaxy's Edge merchandise to Targets, which would be kind of nice. First of all, it sounds like they might repack Hondo and the Mountain Trooper, 2 of the sort of unique figures from the 3 packs in Galaxy's Edge, and that's going to be cool for people that want to get those, but they don't want to pay for those, the aftermarket prices for those packs that came in. Thirdly, there's going to be a figure called Captain Cardinal. I'd never heard of this guy before. Apparently, he shows up in the Captain Phasma book and also the Galaxy's Edge book. So if you want to read more about him or know more about him, you can look it up on the internet. That's what I did. But apparently there's going to be a figure of him and maybe even a helmet for him. But who knows? I have no idea. Again, this is all rumors, and that's all that is. So that's enough for rumors. Those are the things I just want to talk about because people ask me about them, and I just want to get out of the way. But let's talk about what was talked about today on Monday, Fans First Monday. First, in the Vintage Collection, they started off the whole thing with Vintage Collection stuff, and they said that they heard the fans. And they were going to start focusing more on the Vintage Collection. It's a nice step in the right direction. People don't realize they can't change these things overnight. It's not like there's a switch they just flip and suddenly Vintage Collection appears. They have to plan these things. They have to make these things. There's a lot that goes into it. 3 big things got announced today. First is Chirrut Imwe from Rogue One. I didn't know he wasn't in the Vintage Collection already, but I'm glad they're making him. I have the Black Series figure. In fact, this is the first one that has the photoreal face on it, so I really hope that was a hint towards maybe them doing sort of a Rebels thing with Rogue One characters, where they re-release all the Rogue One characters with photoreal faces. I would definitely buy those with better faces. Another thing they announced today was a carbonized freezing chamber, or carbon freezing chamber. One of the things that the 3 3/4 inch scale has over 6 inch is play sets. Like I have a play set up here that someone made for me, this right here, and it takes up a whole shelf. It's big. Some people are down on the fact that you're really only getting half the freezing chamber. It's enough to play with, but if you buy 2, you get like a full freezing chamber. I get it. If they could have just put out a full one and charged double for it, but I feel like this way it's more accessible. If you're really keen on getting the full one, then you just buy 2, and that's just how much it costs. So I'm fine with that, whatever. It also comes with a Stormtrooper, which is cool. I mean, Stormtroopers are always nice, and it's cool if you're gonna buy 2, then you get 2 Stormtroopers as well. So that's nice. And then lastly, they showed off a Bespin Leia, a Bespin Escape Leia, and they specifically said like they wanted to put one in that scene, but there wasn't one to put in that scene, so they're making a Bespin Leia to put in that carbonized freezing chamber scene, and that's nice too. They don't have any actual pictures of her. There was like a weird render of her. I don't really care about the scale, so I've had one in the Black Series line for a while. A lot of new stuff there. Not really. I mean, the Stormtrooper is kind of a repack, but Chirrut and Bespin Leia are new. Just so you know, I don't think the Leia goes up for pre-order tomorrow and Tuesday. I think she's coming out in the spring, but the Chirrut and the freezing chamber goes up for pre-order tomorrow, Tuesday, at whatever online retailer you want. And then it comes out in the fall. And that's actually true for pretty much all the Black Series stuff as well that I'm about to hop into. I keep pointing here, but it's here. I love this announcement because there wasn't anything that I felt the need to buy. I hate it when there's an announcement and I feel like the money is just slipping away from my bank account. It's nice for them to announce things, and I'm sure there are people out there that loved everything that was announced today, but I didn't. It's not that I didn't love them, but I either have them or I plan on buying them differently, so it's fine. But pretty much everything announced in the Black Series is repackaged. So let's talk about that. Number 1 is the Hoth Rebel Soldier. They showed it off in the new packaging. It's going to go right along with the X-Wing Luke and the Darth Vader. I'm going to buy this because I have 2 of the regular ones, but with all the different customizations, of course you can just buy a third. I mean, it fits in. Why not? So I'm going to buy a third one. And also I want to have that packaging, to have the picture on the side, so that's going to be cool. The next thing they announced is actually an addendum to the 40th anniversary wave. They're gonna do a wave 3, which is something they didn't do with the New Hope. A New Hope only got 2 waves. The Empire Strikes Back is getting 3, and there's 5 figures in this wave. And again, they are all repacks, but some of them are pretty cool. So the first one they showed off was Boba Fett. And this is the one that I actually was the most upset over in the whole thing, and all day today. I was disappointed, to say the least. Very disappointed that it's not the Kenner Deco. They released the Kenner Deco last San Diego Comic-Con last year. I was really hoping they were going to release this as part of the normal line. They're just releasing Boba Fett again, and it's one that they've released a bunch of times already. In the original one, in the San Diego Comic-Con one, in the archive one. Like, he's had a recent release, as recent as January of last year. We don't need another regular Boba Fett release. I want the Kenner one. So I complained about that at the beginning, saying, oh, entitled fans, but I do feel like that was a misstep. And I feel like I'm probably not the only one that thinks that they should have done the Kenner one. I'm a little disappointed by that. But again, it's not the end of the world. I'm not going to throw away all my toys because they didn't do one thing that I was hoping they would do. I'm just not going to buy it. Big whoop. Next thing they showed off was the Chewbacca. And what's cool about this is they're trying to keep it like the original packaging for all of the releases in the original Power of the Force 78 on packaging. They had the same picture of Chewbacca, and they're doing that too. It's actually a New Hope picture of Chewbacca on the card, but that's intentional. But the cool thing about this is that the Chewbacca is the same as the 2-pack Chewbacca with the C-3PO. So that's kind of a neat little thing. So if you don't want to get that 2-pack, if you don't want to get that C-3PO, if you just want to get that Chewbacca with the different head sculpt and stuff, and this one actually comes with the bowcaster, whereas the one that came in the C-3PO didn't. It came with the Stormtrooper gun. So I might get this. I'm on the fence about it, but it's cool that they're doing it. The third thing that they showed off today was a Snowtrooper. I am gonna buy this one, and one of the cool things about it is they have revisited the colors on it. They said the colors weren't entirely accurate and they weren't happy with the colors from the original release, so they're updating the colors on this to make it less yellow, more white. I definitely like that, and I'm 100% going to be buying it. And next is the Darth Vader. They showed off again, same thing with Chewbacca. I wasn't really buying toys or paying attention to packaging when I was a kid when these were out, but apparently the Darth Vader used the same picture for all of the releases, no matter what movie he was with, and in the original Darth Vader packaging. And since they're emulating that here, he's got an A New Hope packaging on his Empire Strikes Back card. It's a neat little callback, but it's not a big deal. But this is the same Darth Vader that's coming out in the regular line, and it's the same one that's being carbonized. I'm buying the carbonized. I already have the regular one on order from Dorkside, so I'm definitely not going to buy this one. I don't need to. And then lastly, they showed off Dagobah Luke. So this is the same Dagobah Luke we're getting in that 2-pack with Yoda, but if you don't want to spend $45 or whatever for that 2-pack with Yoda, you can just get this Dagobah Luke. He doesn't come with alternate hands. He doesn't obviously come with the Yoda, but he does come with a blaster. He does come with a lightsaber, and the packaging for the figure, since this figure was never released in the vintage collection of the vintage line way back in the day, they kind of made unique packaging for it, which is, again, kind of neat. So if that's interesting to you, pre-orders for all these things go up tomorrow. They'll be out sometime in the fall. That's not all they talked about today. They did tease a HasLab thing. They didn't say what it was, but it's going to be this year, and it's going to be vintage collection. And being HasLab, you know it's going to be expensive. So start those wheels churning. What do you think it could be? I mean, they already did a Katana. They've already done a Millennium Falcon and stuff, so I don't think it'd be anything like that, but it could be pretty big, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. Maybe just something new. So maybe like a Razor Crest or something like that. I don't know. But if you're into the vintage collection, start saving that money now. And that's why they're telling us now. I feel like they've heard our feedback in the past where when stuff like this is a surprise, people feel like they get caught off guard and they can't afford it because they weren't told about it beforehand, so they couldn't save up for it. With the Sentinel they're doing with the Marvel Legends, which they haven't announced yet, but they've teased a couple times now. And with this, whatever this is, they're teasing it so you can start squirreling money away if you want to buy it. They're trying to give you the best shot you can. So start saving the pennies, and whenever we find out what it is, you can pre-order it. I'm not going to pre-order it because I don't really collect that line, but good for you guys. They've also said they are going to be doing more Clone Troopers in the future. They didn't say what or when, but obviously they are because they know what's popular. But speaking of which, they did announce what won the fan vote for the archive line when that comes back. And as if it was a surprise to anyone. Seriously, if this was a surprise to you, I feel like maybe you don't have a lot of self-awareness of what's going on around you, and maybe you should look into that. But the winner is, of course, Commander Cody, because nobody will shut up about Commander Cody. But seriously, I'm, again, kind of happy for you guys. I have Commander Cody. I don't really feel the need to buy another Commander Cody unless he's different. If they do something, add something, change something, I'll buy him, but I don't think they will because that tends to not be how the archive series works, with the exception of the Bespin Luke Skywalker, where they gave him a whole new head in the 40th anniversary, which is what they said the reason was why they're not doing the archive releases in 2020 is because 40th anniversary Empire figures are sort of taking that place. But I'm sure that's not the only figure they're going to release in the archive line. They're just giving fans the one they want the most, and by far, that's the one that I've seen requested the most on. And that's it for pretty much all the Star Wars news. One last thing, I just want to talk to Hasbro here. Hasbro, I know you watch my channel. I know someone on Hasbro's team watches my channel because my wish list, it's surprisingly full of fulfilled wishes. But just sit down and talk to me for a second. How are you doing? Because I'm a little troubled, and I just want to see if you're troubled too. You today showed off a new Baby Yoda toy, and it is concerning. It's a Bop It, and if you're not familiar with the game Bop It, you bop it, you bop it, you pull it, you twist it. It's all the game's played. I don't think that Baby Yoda is the best subject for this game. I just don't think that he should be the subject of being bopped or twisted or pulled. Because the people that did that in the show didn't work out for them. The way I was raised is you don't shake the babies, no matter how much they scream. So I just want to see how you're doing. Let me know. Drop me a line. I care about you, and if you're going through something, I'm here for you. Anyways, that's it for my news. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. I'd like to take a moment to thank these people here for supporting me on Patreon or Black Series level or higher. Yeah, I didn't really do many Black Series videos this month. June was nuts. July is going to be worse. I'm actually actively going to get on an airplane tomorrow and be gone for like 17 days, so I'm definitely not going to be doing many videos. I do have one scheduled to go up in July on the 1st, so if you're watching this, you'll have something to look forward to, so you won't get nothing, but this is might be the last Black Series video I do for a bit. But thank you for supporting me on Patreon. If you want to see your name up on the screen, you can head out to my Patreon downstairs. There's also a couple different ways down the downstairs area you can help my channel out if you want to. Up to and including liking, sharing, subscribing, hitting the bell for more notifications if you do want to see when I go live or upload videos right away, things like that. But with that, that's it. That's all I've got for you. I can't wait for most of this stuff. Again, pre-orders for most everything goes up tomorrow. It's going to come out sometime in the fall. And yeah, that's it. Bye.